I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sick and tired of every show, movie, anything, game, whatever it is, that I loved as a child, be completely and totally ruined for the sake of wokeness, for the sake of running out of Hollywood, running out of ideas. All these things add up to horrible remakes. I can't think of the last time that there was an actual remake of any series, whether it be cartoon or movie or live action or whatever it is, that I've actually been excited to see. Of course, we've had of course, Disney, of course, when it comes to Aladdin, The Lion King, all these different adaptations. Then, of course, you have the upcoming Powerpuff Girl adaptation that was just basically horrible from the very beginning, and probably will never see the light of day, or at least I pray to God that it never sees the light of day in any form or fashion. But there are so many other ones out there that it just feel like uh, never live up to the standards of the original. Now, one of my favorite cartoons, or I guess you could say, a lot of people say anime. I don't really understand why, to be honest. Um, when it comes to Avatar: The Last Airbender, that was one of my favorite shows growing up. It was just a brilliant cartoon. It just was brilliant from beginning to end. It had great characters. It had a great storyline. I mean, it was beautifully made. Um, it ended perfectly. It really did. And that should have really been the end of it right then and there. Then, of course, we got The Legend of Korra, which was equally as beautiful, but lacked the story and lacked interesting characters. There was no Aang. There was no Sokka, Katara. There was just a bunch of random characters that really never hit their marks. Um, with Korra being the lead, she just wasn't interesting. She just wasn't a good character. And then, of course, you had the whole movie that came out that was based off of Avatar: The Last Airbender that couldn't even get the names of the characters right, um, which was just many of the bad things or the things that it got wrong in that movie. Now you got Netflix wanting to take it to the next level, see how woke they can actually get it. I personally am really worried about this, especially since the creators of it or the original creators of it are like they don't even want any part of this, which just worries me even more because they did create the Legend of Korra, which really wasn't that great and was kind of woke in itself for those days. So imagine what Netflix actually has in store, especially after what they did with the He-Man, all the He-Man crap that they put in there with Tila, making her the main protagonist of that. Kevin Smith ruining his basically all of his goodwill when it comes to fans, all for the sake of wokeness. Let's go ahead and let's read this article about this. About Avatar: The Last Airbender. Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender showrunner Albert Kim says show will be authentic in contrast to original creators' statements. It goes on to state, sharing his thoughts on Netflix website. Kim first detailed that he didn't feel like he had anything to add to Avatar with a live action remake. Because there's nothing you can really add to this that would make it any better. It was perfect the way it is. It should have just been really left alone and been a standalone feature. He explained Netflix offers me the opportunity to develop a live action remake of Avatar. My first thought was, why? What is there I could do or say with the story that wasn't done or said in the original? ATLA had had only grown in popularity and acclaim over the last decade and a half, which is a testament to how complete and resonant a narrative experience it had been. So if it ain't broke, why fix it? Exactly, exactly. My point exactly. However, he is indeed doing a live action adaptation, so he listed off the reason why he's doing it. Of course, he lists all the reasons. So, well, why does it need to be anything done with it? And then he's like, "Oh wait, they're paying me." Kim stated, but the more I thought about it, the more intrigued I became. They're paying you, dude. Just say they offered me a lot of cash, so I'm doing it. VFX technology has advanced to the point where a live action version can not only faithfully translate what has been done in animation, it can bring a rich new visual dimension to a fantastic world. Have you watched the original cartoon? Like, I mean, wasn't that brilliant enough? What could you possibly do, whether it be live action or in, a cartoon or anything along those lines that would make it any more beautiful than it originally was? You just can't. For even the standards of now, 2021, nothing looks as good as what that series does. That series stands up to the test of time even now. Um, Whatever. Um, we'll be able to see bending in a real and visceral way we've never seen before. Like what we did in the movie, I guess is what he's saying. And how did that work out? That was just absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? He then asserted also, Netflix format meant we had an opportunity to reimagine a story that had originally been told in self contained half hour episodes as an ongoing serialized narrative. That meant story points and emotional arcs we loved in the original could be given even more room to breathe and grow. Finally, a live action version would establish a new benchmark in representation. Here we go. Would establish a new benchmark in representation and bring in a whole new generation of fans. The the cartoon version of it was about as representative as you possibly could have made it. You couldn't make it any more representative than what that cartoon was. I mean, it just, how are they going to do this? Anytime that I hear the word representation anymore, I know it's supposed to mean a really positive thing, and it really, truly should. It truly should. But these Hollywood weirdos somehow take representation in a completely different way than the average individual would. The average individual would be like, you know what, we're going to cast the right people for the roles, but no, no, no. Or they're like, we're going to just do something that's so completely different that no one would expect. We're going to, change all the straight characters, make them gay. We're going to change anyone that was white to black. We're going to change, anything that they can change for representation's sake. They do that, even if it doesn't make any sense to do that. This was a chance to showcase Asian and indigenous character as living, breathing people, not just in a cartoon, but in a world that truly exists, very similar to the one we live in. See, it's about money. First off, it's about money, but at the same time, it's also about how woke can we go? How do I get woke points by doing something like that? These are vanity projects in so many different ways. They are. They don't care about the original. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about bringing something that they love or that other people love to, live action or any other thing like that. They don't care about that. They care about changing it when they can get pats on the back and be told how wonderful and progressive they are. They don't care about us at all. They don't care about even the causes that they try to showcase. It's a means to an end. It's not it's not pure hearted in any form or fashion. I think people are now kind of opening up about that and realizing that Hollywood just doesn't have the people that they say that they have the back of. They don't. Um, you take Disney for instance. When it come to them always talking about women, you know, how progressive they were towards women. Well, what about the black? What about Scarlett Johansson? What about Black Widow? What about Pew? What about some of these other ones that were out there that they're not talking so highly about now? There's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on in Hollywood, especially when it comes to women. When it comes to supposedly this representation that they're wanting to do. A lot of hypocrisy goes about in it. It's just like I said, it's a way to make money. It's a way to get eyes on it. It's a way to basically just piss off half the country or 3/4 of the country, or if they get this wrong, most of the country, especially those that absolutely love this. I will be truly pissed off if they ruin this. Um, I don't know. I'm more I read on this, the more I'm like, how bad can this get? Kim would then declare that he has no intentions of changing things from the animated series to live action show for the sake of change. Liar, 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 pants on fire. He specifically stated, I didn't want to modernize the story or twist it to fit current trends. You know what? If he actually meant that, and if we haven't been burned on that before, if I hadn't seen the new Masters of the Universe, maybe I would have believed him. Maybe I would have taken what he's saying at face value in a lot of different ways. I just don't anymore. Aang is not going to be a gritty anti-hero. Kotara is not going to get curtain bangs. I was briefly tempted to give Sokka a TikTok account, though. Think of the possibility. Okay, now he's just joking about it. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about this. I think this is a recipe for disaster. I really do. I don't take this guy at face value. I really don't. And it couldn't be, you know what? This guy could absolutely live up to what he's saying. But I don't believe Netflix would allow him to live up to what he's saying. Netflix has too much invested in this woke mentality. They're not going to just let it go. They're going to change a lot of things that we love about this series. And they're going to make a lot of things, they're going to add a lot of things that are unnecessary. The characters that we absolutely loved won't be there. And if they are, they're not going to be the characters that we loved. That's one thing that Hollywood and Netflix really have a hard time understanding is they think that they can make everything better. They think they can make it more modern, and it just doesn't work out that way. Sometimes some things are just good and should just be left alone. Some things don't need to be changed. Some things don't need to be modernized. And I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is definitely one of those things. But guys, let me know what y'all think. Do you believe this guy? Do you think that there'll be a lot of changes when it comes to this new Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series? I personally think that it's going to be terrible. Not looking forward to it. I'm really disappointed they even try to continue making money off this franchise, especially after the whole Korra disaster that was, and then adding the M Night Shyamalan movie to it. So I'm like, this is just gonna be bad. In my eyes, this is just gonna be bad. But let me know in the comments down below what y'all think. As always, guys, thanks for watching.